is all right. You heard it live, and live it is, I should say, live from the depths of YouTube, Instagram, and all over social media. The TSK is coming at you with a little bit of a mixed up form. No Rob tonight. We replaced him with the podcast machine, Michael Larkin. But what's going on, everybody? We're here to cover AEW All In from Wembley. I'm already saying it. It was the best show I've ever seen in my whole life. It's the greatest show I've ever seen in my whole life, and I'll fight you if you want to say anything different. But that may not just be I might change my mind after the end of this. That's how passionate I am about this. But before we get going, I want to know how the boys feel about this one. So, Harold, how are we feeling about it? 10 a.m. show. Can't be mad at that.
Can't be mad at that. I want to say maybe this was the second or third AEW show in history to end before 9 p.m. Pacific Coast time, and I am so thankful for it. What's up, y'all? It's Harold, your boy. Too sweet.
Beyond thankful indeed. DC, talk to me. Is the sauce? There's no way the sauce can be this sour. It hasn't sat overnight because we didn't have to wait a whole different day to do this review.
With the exception of one match, very much entertained.
He was very much entertained. Now, of course, this is normally where I kick it to Rob and he comes at me with some cool stuff in his dark corner. But we got the podcast machine. So, Big Mike, with all the wrestling you watched today, where does AEW All In from Wembley land on your chart?
I think it's a tie with me for one with AAA, because for those who didn't see AAA during the noontime here over here on the East Coast, which was 9 for you guys, I think both shows really told a great story of where we were going towards the road to Triple Mania and where we were going as well within AEW towards the future with All Out and going to the Full Gear side of things. I think with what we had today, and I mean, NXT was good in itself, but I think those two shows for me really ranked high. But I really did enjoy All in London, man. You had a nice surprises. You had a nice little fun aspect of this show and a great story / passing the torch within the main event. So it definitely set up where we're going for the future. So I was very much entertained.
I love the way you put that, because the passing of a torch. What I said this probably 7 times, and I don't care who knows it because that's why we do the show. I was texting to the boys in the UK. This is beautiful. From the intros for both guys, by the way, for Kenny and for Will. When your mama comes on AEW television, it does a voiceover for you. That hits, okay. That hits. That hits a different kind of somewhere. And I got into my emotions. But then here comes Kenny with I got to do it anime style, using the same voiceover guy from My Hero Academia coming out like it was Almighty. I think I forget that's how you say his name.
Yep.
But the whole thing, I'm already jumping away to the main. You already know how we do. We do not cover the pre-show, but we kind of have to cover the pre-show just because the one that always bleeds into the main, which I'm not hating this now. It's become one of those things where I guess I have to at least watch the last 15 minutes. Fine, TK, I'll watch you on YouTube for 15 minutes. I'll get you your extra $1,000 from YouTube, okay? Jesus Christ. So let's get into that one. Roulette Royale, which I had no idea what this was going to be, by the way, okay? All we knew is it was supposed to be a multi-man trios match, but we didn't have any idea it was going to be to the magnitude in which it was. So to just get into the whole thing, these are all the teams listed, all right? It had Hangman Adam Page and Brodito, whatever the heck their dang name is, the Good, the Bad, the Wapple, I think is what their name is. The Bang Bang Gang, the Dogs, the Demand, the Conglomeration. There's a lot of those. I'm just going to put that out there. Death Riders, not the Death Riders, but Death Riders, and then a wild card team. So, as you predicted, with the roulette acting the way it does, it actually did this cool little thing where it would like spin.
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually, I thought it was hard. I thought it was like, that's fucking badass. Like, that's a cool little feature.
Creative way to do that.
Mad fucking creative. And it because it always left you guessing. It always just left you like, it's like, okay, well, it's not going to be them because they're already there. But who? And you can just sneak one in at the last second. Like, oh, wait a minute. And I thought all of it was good. It started with the Demand and the Guns. And then you had the Conglomeration come out. I want to say the Death Riders came out after that. Then the Trios Champions came out after that. Utter chaos in this whole fucking thing. Then it cuts. And then we have to go to the actual main show itself. Goes to the main show. I want to say we're maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes back from the into the main, and out comes Swerve, and Swerve's just standing there. Him and Prince Nana just standing there, and you already knew he was coming. You knew 3 weeks ago who was coming. You knew a month and a half ago who was coming. But here they are, awesome Austin Creed and Kofi, the new level. I don't know who paid for this song, but I promise you, cheap. Boy, it ain't cheap. I wonder if Kofi and them came out of pocket for this. We're just like, well, if I can just, we got money. We got money to blow. I don't know. I'm curious. I wonder if we can figure that one out. But before the next shot, we got on this. But obviously, the new level and Swerve, the Swerve in the new level, Swerve in the new level. There you go. You're welcome, TK. Pick up the win the Trios Championships. Again, we saw it coming. We knew pretty much anybody who comes out with Swerve Strickland was going to end up winning the Trios Championships.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to bring any relevancy to the Trios Championships because of what happens later on in the night. We will get to it. Regardless of the fact, great pop, great creativity for as many motherfuckers in a match at one time. The amount of creativity, way to not keep us bored, kept us on our toes. I enjoyed it. How we feel?
I think what's so great about what we got to see with this is I'm always equated to like when the Hardys came back in 2017 and the New Day were there and they're like, no, we're not. And then they teased it was them, but no, it's the Hardys. This we knew. And I think within the last decade, ever since the New Day got together in 2014, it started on like a little bit of tough times, the Preachers type of vibes. But once you got to 2015 and their heels, they absolutely ran with it. So you have this team that has always been associated with WWE. I mean, for me, I love the name just for the fact that, you know, you think of up, up, down, down. Woods is very much a video game nerd. I mean, that was what his initial character was when he was in NXT back in 2012. Very 90s based. So I think them being with Swerve, who's another one who fits great. They fit the representation of what their message is behind the group. So I thought it was great to have them win. And when you think of the top trios, you always will go to New Day. And everybody talks about Big E, but I also think Swerve, if you remember, like he briefly was in Hit Row during his WWE tenure. Didn't go the way that it wanted to. But I think these three, with what they're going to do and the teams that you had in there, and this will also go on to what we see when we get to the World Tag Match, I thought their debut was very cool. The London crowd was very receptive to it. We all love Kofi and Austin Creed because we never thought they would be in this predicament and this situation they are now. But within their debut, I think they rocked it, and I think the right team went over.
Love it.
For sure. For me, one of the standout performances of the show, and I think this is consistently a thing with this group, the conglomeration, the creative ways they're able to insert themselves in little creative battles and unique offense using Orange Cassidy as a battering ram. And then we have the great spot with Roddy and Marina Shafir. So
he killed his wife.
Yeah, like they, in my opinion, other than New Day, obviously debuting, they kind of carried the match. Other than just the pure athleticism that we usually see. So I really enjoyed that about the match.
Take it, Dan.
I thought it was perfectly well done with the New Day. I'm curious to see where they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's my hope is that they do things a little differently than how they kind of ended up in WWE at the end. You know, you think they're healed run and people, for all intents and purposes, it flopped. I think it was red hot after E, but you know what happened? You know, they dropped the ball. Called me shocked. But you know, this is no no pun intended, this is a new day. You know,
Yes, it
they're,
is.
you know, whole new crop of people they've never worked with. I would have liked to see them in the tag title match, but
Yeah. Don't worry,
Yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
That is the beauty of what this pay-per-view was. It's you felt like there was moments where maybe you weren't getting what you thought you were going to get, but then you got a little something different, but it satisfied the craving. Satisfied the craving. This one for me, this next one I should say, it hit a good button because finally, and I'm going to say it nicely, they made the Brawling Birds look competent. Not good, not great, not an outstanding team worth your darn time, but at least competent. You know, they're not brawling in a bar for the second week in a row. Thank God. I'm sure the boys on Max are going to be chanting that one out loud. But Divine Dominion against the Brawling Birds for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Again, solid match for what it was. It was more like a tornado tag. There was no tags. They were just kind of brawling and sprawling all over the place. Lena Cross, bless your heart, darling. Bless your heart. She, God, am I the only one that notices just how like green she is?
Oh yeah, I mean, compared to what Megan Bayne is doing, absolutely.
It just it stands out to the point where it's like you got to kind of turn and look. It's like, you know, when you show up and you're like, oh hey, that's my ex over there. Don't look. Now you can't help but look. You know what I mean? I can't help but notice just how her random green moments are. But beside the point, this was an all-out brawl as they needed it to be, because that's the whole point of being the Brawling Birds. You're in London. You're gonna have a London brawl. You didn't do it in a pub, thank God, because that would make it even more WWE. I can already see the bar and Sheamus, and I'm already going on a rant. The point of the matter is they did it right, which, as stale as it was, I would rather this than as quirky as you could have made it, because I promise you somebody could have made it that quirky. So good on the Brawling Birds. Good title win. Again, I'm another set of belts that nobody gives a fuck about. And I'm really trying to be nice about this whole thing, because it's like, at least they're a good team, right? At least you want to see Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter, right? Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I do,
there's a ceiling to that excitement. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So again, the pop was worth it, because again, we're in London, we're in Wembley, baby, in Wembley. Okay, the Brits got to win. I'm going to argue about one Brit not winning it. It's coming up in a minute, but the Brits won. Again, the belts don't really mean anything. I hope this is the opportunity. I honest to God hope this is the opportunity for Megan Bayne to go jump in the now warming up women's division with the return of Britt Baker, with the now rise of Persephone. Get her back in the mix. Love you, Lena. Sorry, darling. Go to Ring of Honor. Go to Collision, because there ain't nobody paying attention over there anyway.
I think my whole thing with that group is they built them like the female skyscrapers, of where they're undefeated, they're going through everybody, and the team to beat them, how apropos, is the team that is the UK, that is London, with Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. They tried to make up like a female version of the bar mixed with like the APA fighting at the bar and the pub. I always look at it like this, guys. Megan Bayne comes in, and then she's immediately forced into the feud with Toni Storm, and she's just like really not talking. They're trying to build her. But then you find something with her with Lena Cross. And my thing, too, with Megan Bayne is this girl has such potential. She's worked on the Northeast. She's wrestled in Stardom. And if you could build her back, much like you said, Mel, going towards the women's division, you have something there. There's something there that's really – you have something there, to put in the bluntest of terms. But then I see people like this women's division. I mean, you got the Sisters of Sin. You got Chris Statlander and Harley Cameron. You have some tag teams here, but it's like, let's build up this women's tag team division to actually mean something. We need more teams, and there's got to be more than what we're getting currently with the current crop we have. And don't get me wrong, they're great. But it's like, dang it, man, we need something to really up the echelon of said division. But the right team, thus being said, went over.
As Harold said, it's hitting a ceiling. Which is exactly what that division has. It has a ceiling, and it's a low one.
Yeah, definitely. This match, I definitely see why they put it second, because they figured everybody would be on their phones going, did you see New Day? Did you see New Day? But in my opinion, like putting this second, like I felt like the momentum of the pay-per-view took a dive at this point. My first, what I call piss break of the night, so you say. Not that it was a bad match. It was okay. It was decent. Something I could have seen on Collision. Again, the women's tag title picture is suffering from a lack of, I don't want to say urgency, but care. Like if fans want a reason to care, there's really none of that going on. I don't know how they're gonna get out of that other than maybe doing some mixed match tag teams and then building up some organic ones. But yeah, I guess that the positive thing about it is it can only go up from here, I guess.
Yeah, if it doesn't plateau a little longer, but yeah, we can only go up. We can only go up.
We would hope.
Part of the problem is they don't really have a whole lot of established tag teams in the women's division. Now, can the women's tag titles get there? Absolutely.
Sure.
But you gotta make the people care about the title.
Gotta give the people what they want.
I mean, the 24/7 title. You know, that first night, nobody gave a shit about it.
Yeah.
But all the stuff with R-Truth, you actually tuned into it.
That's true. 1,000% you did.
Because he made that title mean something. Didn't mean a whole heck of a lot. But it was entertaining. That's what you got to do with these women's tag titles. Make it mean something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not 5.5 weeks of a build that where 90% of it was in a pub saying the same shit over and over again. But I digress. That's brilliant. So with that, I got to ask the question because I know we just brought up the TBS title match. And actually, we didn't bring it up. So we glossed over most of the pre-show. Let's talk about the TBS title match. Or was it a TBS like wasn't this like a gauntlet one too? No,
it's just Persephone in My World.
That's right. My World of Persephone. Decent. Okay, I'm not the big. Sorry, I'm not the biggest Maya World fan. I know we're going to fucking backwards curveball this way, but I'm just I got the appeal of giving her the belt right off the bat. You know what I mean? For the pop factor, the stardom.
Thank you for your service.
Give somebody an opportunity to get some sunlight, spotlight. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what this ended up being. I've been saying Persephone is too good to lose, and I didn't think she needed help. I don't think it hurt that she got help because of all the people that fucking that Maya World apparently is made mad, and then all the people that fucking Hikaru Shida is all mad about, and Thunder Rosa, and all these other fucking goddamn people. Regardless, I thought it was hilarious that Britt Baker came out in a hoodie and a lucha mask. I was like, you don't need to be that covered up, but whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Did the whole lockjaw. Everybody goes fucking bananas. It was a great moment. Persephone ends up winning the TBS championship. Good on her. But I bring that up to ask this question. Would you have rather seen the return of Britt Baker, or would you rather see the Brawling Birds win the big one in Wembley?
I think for the circumstance of the pay-per-view and the show within itself, and whether it's the aura and essence of it, I probably would have went with the Brawling Birds because of the pop it would get. I thought what they did here I'm with you with Maya World because I get it. Her brother passed away, which is so unfortunate in the tragedy, and they gave her that win. They gave her that feel-good story. But I think it's kind of like, okay, I'll look at it like this. Back in 2007, when Santino Marella became a babyface, and he was that fan in the crowd in Italy, and it was that feel-good moment, he beat Umaga, and then he's the champion, and that first run with him as the Intercontinental Champion was just like, okay, that's what it felt like with Maya World. Her title was like, okay, you got the moment, but now it's just like, your run's been the drizzling shits. I think adding it to Persephone, she has a lot of great enthusiasm. She has great charisma, her CMLL work. And then you have Britt Baker come in doing the stuff that she did with Maya World. It adds more to the title. Britt Baker going after the TBS title, multiple women's champion here in AEW. It adds something for her to go against Maya World. There's something different there. But hey, you found a spot for her where she doesn't have to go, you know what? Who cares? Who cares? And she can actually sink her teeth into it, pun intended. But to answer your question, I'd have to say the Brawling Birds just because of where the location of this event was.
Obviously, the London pop. I believe the London pop. Harold, are we in agreement, or are we worried about a return over the hometown pop?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Mike. I mean, I totally understand the hometown pop. I get Britt Baker was a big return, but to be honest, it's been so long with Britt Baker and where they kind of inserted her in this kind of underwhelming TBS title picture anyway. I think that would have been more of a gamble, and yeah, I think the right decision was going with the Brawling Birds.
I like it. D.
I just had mentioned needing new established tag teams for the women's tag titles.
You did.
Baker and Persephone.
Ta-da.
Put them together. It's before in the past, Britt Baker was the rookie with the established stars guiding her.
Mm-hmm.
Now the roles are reversed. How is this? Going to be like a short-term return? Like, because there were reports that she was wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Is this Tony trying to keep her around? Like,
right? You don't know. Yeah, for sure.
So honestly,
and is Persephone even? Sorry to cut you off. Is Persephone even signed with AEW at this time?
Full contract.
Okay. So go ahead, DC.
So I think it keeps Britt Baker around because there were those rumors that she was looking to leave. So maybe this is a short-term thing, long-term thing. And I think you'd said it in the past, Harold, do they really need her? I'm glad she's back, though.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I think that's an entire argument in itself. Is she really, truly that needed, considering the amount of magnitude inside of the women's division in itself? Especially if we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to dump people like Megan Bain from a tag team and add them into the mix just because, again, trying to recuperate these divisions outside of the World Championship, it needs to happen. I mean, the tag team one got revamped. We're going to talk about that one, and it looks a hell of a lot better for the first time in a minute. Now, let's get into the next one. We'll go back to the main card. We're no longer fucking with the pre-show. We're back to the main. John Moxley, Nigel McGuinness for the Continental Cup final and the AEW Continental Championship, or as we've been calling it on Max, the FA Cup. So before we even fucking talk about this match, there has never been a non-English team to win the FA Cup in its 100 and some odd year goddamn history, TK. You own a football club. What the fuck, man? Seriously, what the fuck? I say all that in a joking manner, of course, because it's not about a fucking Englishman winning the FA Cup because it's English. And it's more so much of why do we continue to do this thing with John Moxley? Why do we continue to drag out John Moxley like he's a fucking world beater, yet he's carrying a mid-card title where 80% of the matches he's getting his ass beat and then he wins? Like, why? How is this becoming a thing? Actually, no. How has this been a thing and nobody's put a stop to it? How do we have people saying like, yep, that's what I want to see John Moxley doing? Because I don't. I want to see him do any fucking thing else. And I don't want him off the wagon, but I'd rather see him drinking than do this shit. All right? I tell you what. I'd rather see him drinking than do this shit. Because it's getting to be too much. I know I've said it on Max. I think we said it in the last fucking pay-per-view show that we did on him.
We said everyone, Mo.
It's too much.
Moxley fatigue.
It's honestly it's worse than Super Cena, because like you're like, oh well, Super Cena's gonna lose, but at the end of the day, in the back of your head, oh well, he's just gonna win.
Like, damn it, again.
And the kids, this is John Moxley. So I guess instead of it's for the kids, what's the old saying? It's for the sickos.
Yep.
Fuck them kids.
I couldn't have said it better.
You know what? What it is, and I said this before we went on air, and I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face. And in fact, hell, I think I've said it here on our fine program in the past. Moxley is to AEW what Roman Reigns is to WWE. It's the same exact thing. Like, think about it. Lately, Roman gets his ass kicked every single time. Mm-hmm. Comes back, Spears, Superman punch, 1, 2, 3, he wins. Mox gets his ass kicked, hits his finish, 1, 2, 3, he wins. There have been a number of people that Reigns should have lost to. Hell, I'll say he should have lost to CM Punk at WrestleMania.
Yep.
That was the wrong decision.
Yeah.
He should have lost to Fatu. He should lose to LA Knight. Here's the thing. Like, who's going to beat Mox? I think the bigger story, you still could have done Nigel in the finals. Have Cesaro beat Mox.
And then that way you don't have to worry about it. Then you have a full-blown new winner going into this whole thing.
Yes, and then you could do a Mox versus Cesaro storyline.
Yep, power struggle.
Yep.
It literally writes its fucking self. Like I've been saying this. This is my new favorite saying forever. Sometimes simplicity ain't so goddamn simple, because fucking hell. But to get into the match itself, Nigel, how old is Nigel? 50? 50, something like that. Great shape. He's coming in off a fucked up ankle. He's been just brawling through, not to steal terms from the Brawling Birds, just been brawling through this entire tournament after getting hurt in the first match, has overcome all the odds, and it is the true Englishman who makes it to the final of the FA Cup. And that's when I'm thinking, there's no way an Englishman should lose, period, in this entire show. Now, granted, I had a good 6 minutes of fuck it, just let Kenny win. Just fucking let Kenny win, because he looks so great. And I'll get into that, but that was the only window of indifference for anybody that was non-UK, was just that moment. But for this one, outside of the obvious complaint that I will continue to have about Jon Moxley until it fucking changes, why not just go with another hometown pop? Why not go with this title change? Just as I say all the time with the E, why not do the simple thing and just pull the trigger?
Yeah, make the crowd happy.
What's the worst that's going to happen? Nigel can't compete anymore, so then he wins the whole thing to drop the belt? Okay. So then Moxley fucking gets it right back, and then you have a final where, and I'm going to add DC right there, now it's Claudio and Mox. And there's your loophole to get to the storyline. You get your moment, and then you got your storyline. I swear to God, we should be getting paid.
Even beyond that, Mo, you have the story that, yes, Mox lost, but Nigel sacrificed everything to do it. That, yes, he beat him, but as a result of it, he can't wrestle anymore.
No. He laid it all on the line.
I can't think of a better yet satisfying finish for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's beyond poetic. Mike, tell me I'm wrong. Isn't that just poetry right there?
No, you're right. I think I'll even go on to your guys' point. You have two guys who I've watched, Nigel and I've watched Mox. I knew it was going to be a great match, because if you guys have never seen Moxley and William Regal from FCW, think of it on that level. Nigel, who is 50 years old, fucking just looks amazing. He's doing his thing. The story is he's fighting back from injury. He's still going to continue after getting injured against Shibata. He beats Hechicero, and then he beats Kyle O'Reilly. And then we're at this moment. This should have been Nigel McGuinness winning in front of his home city, his home state, his home country. But they decided to go the route, okay, we're going to keep Jon Moxley with the title. My thing is, I like the Moxley-Claudio idea. I was going to make a joke, if you want to do long-term booking, have Sheamus come in and he's the one who beats Jon Moxley, because Sheamus was the one who beat Moxley for the U.S. title back in WWE all the way back in 2013. But I'm just here's my thing with that, man. You have so many things. This story is right in front of your face. It's right in your fingertips, but you decide to let it slip away because we're going to continue on the path with Jon Moxley as a champion. This was a perfect scenario where you could have Nigel win it, him crying in front of his hometown, the man who made his return at Wembley in the Casino Gauntlet match and coming out to Oasis, getting a pop, and then X amount of years later, boom, we're in a state where he wins a championship. But they decided not to. Other than that, I thought the match was fine, but you should have had a bigger moment with Nigel winning.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And you guys want to add anything on to that one?
I was going to say, whatever happened to the thing with O'Reilly and Mox? That seemed like that was something that they were going to revisit, and then they let it die and let everybody forget about it. For a while, a lot of people thought Kyle and Mox was going to be the final, or at least a match that would happen at Wembley, because it looked like they were building to that type of story, but they just let it go.
I kind of felt like you could absolutely have flipped it and reversed it the other way, where it would have been Kyle and Mox. But then I think you would have had it. Well, I don't know. It probably would have been about the same amount of disappointment or whatever for them not pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
it's the same. I don't want to say same aspect, but within that, it is somebody who's ridiculously over, somebody who has had a big feud with John Moxley before. I don't think Nigel's had a feud with him per se, but again, that was more the hometown aspect of it.
Right.
You had a feud. Build out, laid out on plan, whatever. Have it come to a head. Instead, they're going to try to pick it back up. My guess is they're going to do that. They're just going to try to pick it back up in a few weeks. Like, oh, hey, we never dropped this hot potato. Come on back. It's got fucking mold on it, but don't worry, you can still eat it. Sour cream on it. Like, no, don't do that. And that's what I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I love the Sheamus idea, because now every time I hear the word Sheamus, I'm just like, fuck, I really wish he would have shown up today. Just because of the curveball that it could have been. Just because of the curveball that it could have been. Like, what in the hell are you doing here? One. And two, what does it mean for Claudio? Because I totally blame the man Beer for this one. But ever since he started talking about the bar coming back, except AEW style, I'm like, sign me the fuck up. Where's my wallet? Take all my money. Like, I want that now. Because they were great in the E. Now get unlocked with fucking AEW, and what the hell are we going to get? What kind of chaos and destruction are we going to get from these two dudes?
I mean, look at the deep cut you could have done with instead of having Moxley, you could have done Claudio versus Nigel, and you could have went with the deep cut of, hey, around the same time when we tried to get signed by WWE, you're the one who couldn't get signed because you had to retire, but I got there. You could have done that.
A Ring of Honor spin. Look at that. You see how many avenues we could have been. I promise you, we should all be getting paid.
Just give it to Mox for no reason.
Just let him keep it. I don't know why. It is what it is.
You went Vince.
Right. Hey, sometimes it's what TK sounds like when he makes these stupid ass decisions. So that's his own damn fault.
I love you, John Moxley. I love you all.
After the match, Death Riders come out. They celebrate with Mox. They bolt into the crowd. And of course, Nigel gets his little bit of a moment, bowing to the crowd. Massive ovation. That's the last time we see him. He ended up coming out in a wheelchair for the main event, which I thought was kind of awesome.
He looked so silly, bro.
He really did, though, and he knew he did, and that is what makes Nigel the fucking man. Oh God, this next one, I should say, whew, if you put it on paper regularly, like the stars just get thrown on there like it's fucking, like it's salt. You're trying to make some pasta, just you fucking dumped it in there. But as much as it was up here, I don't want to say it missed a little bit. Not missed a little bit. It just didn't hit that ceiling as high as it could. Let's go with that one. Didn't hit the ceiling to the fullest of its aspects. But Kyle O'Reilly, Konosuke Takeshita, and Kazuchika Okada.
No, Kyle
Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher, my bad. Kyle Fletcher. I said Kyle O'Reilly. I know I sounds like halfway through. Did I say O'Reilly? Hey, again, as you can see, I'm a Kyle fan. Let's go, Kyle. This is Kyle. Now that whole thing's playing in my head again. Regardless, this was good. It felt like New Japan. Like this felt like New Japan to me. Maybe it was the big coats from Okada and Takeshita, and maybe just the big aura from Fletcher. But this felt New Japan to me. Is because it was, and I do mean hard hitting. I don't think I've gotten to really use the term strong style in a while, but that's what this was. This was strong style. These dudes were laying the fucking hammer down on each other, and they didn't give a shit. There was air raid crashes from Okada. I love and hate when Okada does it because it looks so picture perfect. The air raid crash where he takes his fucking knee and just breaks your neck on it, and he just looks like he's gonna, he's gonna go buy some groceries. I mean, he's gonna get his milk for the week after he snapped your neck doing some fucking move without even breaking a sweat, mind you. That was ridiculous. The fucking screwdriver spot, or just Okada tries to use a screwdriver, all that whole shit. Oh my God, the suplex into the Okada roll, grabbing on and hitting another bridging suplex.
Oh yeah.
Takeshita is he's a big strong boy. All right. I don't know how else to fucking put it. He's a big strong boy. Fucking hell, this kid is. And again, I look at this match and I cannot help but picture it in the Tokyo Dome. I cannot help but envision this in one of the biggest stages that you can have in Japan, because this was the biggest stage you can have in England, and these people ate it up. They ate it up and they asked for seconds. They were absolutely in love with this match. There was all kinds of nonsense. The Avalanche Brainbuster, I cannot. I hate this move and love it at the same time. It's gruesome to look at, but I can't help but pop. I am a sicko, and that's quite all right. There's Okada hits the Rainmaker on Fletcher. Split second, has to decide, do I cover fucking Fletcher? Do I cover fucking Takeshita, who's down there? Nah, fucking pin Fletcher. And there it goes. There's your storyline. Build it to fucking Wrestle Dream or whatever the fuck you want to go with it. But it's been coming to a head. And now that one needs to happen. Takeshita can just kind of fucking grab his shit and slowly exit fucking Don Callis family stage left and move on with life. That would be great for me. And then you leave it to these dudes. You leave it to these dudes. And I'm going to say this now. I only say this because I'm desperate to get Okada by himself. Have Don pick Kyle over Okada. And when this match happens, they attack Okada, not Fletcher. That way Okada can either fucking get saved by like an Ibushi or a fucking Ishii or maybe even Kenny or the Bucks. Mm-hmm. Somebody else, have him go fucking face and move on with life. Even though I did love his heel shit where he's all like, raise my hand. Big ass smile on his face. He's the fucking man, no matter what Okada does. He is the goddamn man, and he barely knows English. So I should tell you all fucking indie wrestlers out there something. Work harder. Work harder. Mike, what do you got?
I'm with you. It's one of those things where I could see this in the middle of a Wrestle Kingdom in Tokyo Dome, just going 30 plus minutes of these two just going balls to the wall. Mm-hmm. And I think what we got here was the right outcome of Okada beating Kyle Fletcher, because it's like, wait a minute, Kyle Fletcher has beaten Okada before, and maybe that ate up at Okada a little bit. Like, I'm supposed to be the Rainmaker and you're the proto star. I'm supposed to be the one here. And then Kyle can have a little exchange there, and that's where you set up the face turn for Okada for disrespecting Okada. And Kyle, like you mentioned with Don Callis, you set something up there, and that sets up another great exchange between the two. Konosuke Takeshita is just one of those guys, whether he's a babyface or whether he's a heel, he has it. There's a reason why he's in this company. Like, I enjoyed this match thoroughly. It reminds you of something that you would see, like we mentioned, like in the junior championship matchup, or like for the Noah GHC championship, whatever you have with Hiroki Goto back in the day. But it's stuff like that too, man, where it was pure wrestling at its finest. It was three guys going out there and doing what they do. And in this particular scenario, there's a conflict with each and every one of them. But I got to tell you, it gives me more Rainmaker on here, and I love the beach and all that, but nothing will ever beat the babyface Okada.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. D, go ahead. D's ready to go, D. God damn, I love it.
I think, the argument could be made to keep Kyle Fletcher heel and turn Okada face. There's also the argument of the exact opposite. Of, turning, Okada, keep Okada heel. Because honestly, I think Kyle Fletcher's ready.
I think so. I'm totally picking up what you're putting down. I'm totally picking up what you're putting down.
I think you could even lead to a reunion between United Empire.
Ooh. Okay.
Seek out the enemy of an enemy and you'll find a friend. The whole thing.
I love it.
It could work.
Good.
On the other hand, Okada versus Ospreay.
I will never, ever, ever, never, ever say no to that.
Okada can be a face and still do the whole bitch. Like, he can still do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, have him come out and, Fletcher's, his microphone stops working. And instead of saying he pushed the wrong button, just say, I pushed the right button. Bitch.
That, or I put you on mute or something. Just something cool. But yeah, no, I can totally fucking see that. I can 100% see that, especially the way that this ended and how they had to coerce Kyle to raise Okada's hand. You know, he's already like, God damn it, which is cool. I can totally see the breakup happening either or. I just, you know me where I lean on my biasness. Harold, what you got?
Yeah, I was gonna say, to touch on what you had stated when you first brought up the match, how it was great, of course, but you felt like something kind of came up short. I kind of feel, in my opinion, it's the fact that it was a three-way match.
Yep.
I feel like, yeah, you know, some people are like, oh, the more people, the better. It's more exciting. Sometimes, if it's with the right people. If this was like Bandito, Speedball, and AR Fox, okay, three-way, that is gonna bang. These guys, of course, it's gonna bang just because these guys are fantastic wrestlers. But these types of wrestlers, you want to savor them. You want them one-on-one. You want to see their psychology. You want to see essentially more in full what makes them tick. And in the three-way match, they're kind of sharing that chemistry. They're sharing that flavor profile, if you will. It's kind of like a good steak. If it's a good steak, you don't want to like, oh, we should put that batter and deep fry it. No. Just grill it as it is, a little salt and pepper, taste the meat. And that's how I feel like you want to watch these guys. But again, great match, solid. Of course, go out of your way to see it. It was one of the few matches I actually was really looking forward to on this card. And it delivered. Loved it.
To make another food analogy, you know, with the incoming Fletcher versus Okada feud, you know, with that, like when you're making a barbecue, when you're, you know, smoking some meats, low and slow.
Yo,
low and slow.
Do not rush Okada versus Fletcher. Don't pull a WWE and be like, here you go.
Yeah. Don't smash my fucking my prime rib into a fucking country fried steak.
Exactly. Let that sucker slow cook. Let it rest. Don't immediately, as soon as you take it off the grill, cut into it.
Nope.
Gotta let it rest.
Give it its 3 minutes. Give it its 3 fucking
let
minutes.
It simmer.
And then
let it simmer.
You plate that up, and people will eat every last bit, and they will ask you for seconds.
Yeah, without any A1 too.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what. All right, let's get into another.
And leave a 25% tip.
Ooh, 25 in this economy? My man, that's big time. That's big time, baby. All right, let's get to the Casino Gauntlet for a future AEW World Championship match. I'm going to have my caveats on this one, and I'm sure we're all going to have them. Started with Andrade, who's number 1. We know MJF is number 2. They have these cool little intros before they get in. Good little wrestling match. Fucking out of nowhere, fucking Nick Wayne just shows up, beats fucking, I think it was lays out Andrade or whatever, and then you hear Justin Roberts, number 3, and it's like, what the fuck, bro? I thought this was like, you know, like a normal thing where, you know, you have to announce them, and then they show up, and nope, they fucking show up, and then he announces them apparently, and you can also get your name mixed up, as we're going to get into. Speedball comes out. It's getting a little. I love that I'm seeing a lot more Nick Wayne. I want to get this off my chest because seeing this kid out there doing work felt good to me. It felt good. I've been missing Nick Wayne. The poor kid gets fucking hurt more than anybody I know. Poor bastard. And he's a young fella, so it's like either you need to slow down or you need. You know what Randy Orton used to say? He used to jump off the top rope until somebody told him you're going to lose your knees or something like that. Mm-hmm. Don't go killing yourself for the sake of us. Slow it down. Try to figure out a new way. Talked about Speedball. Tommaso Ciampa came out. The fucking London crowd loved this dude. When his music hit, Wembley went bananas for fucking Tommaso Ciampa. And they went maybe a little bit more bananas for Jericho when he came out, kept singing his song. We had Mark Davis comes out. Then the mix-up of all mix-ups, it's Commander. And I knew right off the bat when he yelled Mystico, I was like, that's not Mystico's music. Don't you dare. And I'm like laughing, and I'm like, it says Commander, like big as fuck on the thing. But I'm like, I love the shot that they would give. It's like they're like right on top of the ramp, and they look at the fucking ring. You can't even tell what color the ropes are. So I wouldn't be surprised if even those big ass screens, you couldn't read Commander. He was like, fuck a luchador. All right, got it. It's Mystico. Which I thought was awesome. But of course, because we're in the UK, we're in London, baby, they will not let you live it down. So of course, there's a "you fucked up" chant, and then there's a Mystico chant, which I thought was also fucking hilarious. And then he hits a big, I want to say it was like a big like shooting star press, and then fucking Justin Robert goes, the number 8 entrance is Commander, and the fucking place goes bananas. And then Mystico comes out as number 9, and I love this one. He's like, that's right, you guessed it, it's Mystico. And I'm like, you fucking dork. But he's literally walking out, hasn't even made it into the fucking ring yet, and out comes Bag of Dicks.
Oh,
like, of all the dudes to ruin the fucking beautiful entrance that is Mystico's entrance, it had to fucking be Bag of Dicks, Daniel Garcia. Then it takes like a good 3-4 minutes before we see anybody else. It was kind of weird for a bit. And it's Jack Perry. Of all the people, that's the last guy you wanted to bring out was Jungle Jack Perry? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Sheamus is the end all be all. You should have brought Sheamus and the whole Sheamus, and I don't want to keep fucking adding WWE guys to this. But you're telling me there's nobody else in the back out there that would have been a bigger star than Jungle Jack Perry. Now, granted, again, they love to sing in London, so I don't think there was a single person that was in that stadium that wasn't waving their hands, except for the fucking girl that they put a picture on right in the middle of his song. She was the only one why are they waving their hands? Get with the fucking program, lady. What the hell's the matter with you? Regardless, this match ended up being a whole hodgepodge. Everybody hit a cool spot towards the end. There's the Judas effect. Nick Wayne gets a high kick. The top rope destroyer. Mark Davis is out there. I love his power bomb. I fucking pile drove everybody. I was like, this guy's awesome. I feel so bad for his thighs though. They have got to be dead. You know what I mean? His what's they call it, the sacrum. His sacrum's got to be well out of place from all the fucking times he lands on his ass. But this I've talked about the spinning elbow from Andrade. It quite literally comes out of nowhere. Fucking out of nowhere. And it's loud and fast. I don't get it. I just don't ever want to be hit by it. He destroys Nick Wayne with it. Actually, after I should say, hits. No, it was that's right. MJF hits a fucking heat seeker after him and Nick Wayne getting this whole little ordeal. Kills MJF with the elbow, pins Nick Wayne, ends up winning the match. That's where I get to be a little bit of because why? Why are we going to feed Andrade, who's pretty elevated right now? He's pretty up there, pretty over, as we say in the biz.
How you know?
And you're just going to fucking feed him to the now ridiculously over Will Ospreay.
Here's
Will Ospreay. Sorry, I gotta finish this sentiment so everyone gets my fucking crazy analogy really quick. Will Ospreay is so over right now. People are watching football. That's how fucking over he is. All right, you're welcome. It's like the fucking FIFA Cup all over again.
So this would have been a cool idea, and it's been done in the past. If you and Mike, I know you'll remember Survivor Series 2001, the Invasion versus WWE. Remember the Immunity Battle Royal?
Yes, which Test won.
Test stole a spot and won. So what if you have somebody who they were never really going to put the person in the match. They're coming out. Kyle Fletcher comes out pissed that he lost the last match. Beats the shit out of the guy. Wins the match.
Why does keep going, please?
And then you lead up to the match, Ospreay versus Fletcher. But then how do you make them both still look strong? Well, simple. You have Okada accidentally cost Fletcher the match.
Add more fuel to the fire.
And then that leads back into Fletcher versus Okada. Bing, bang, boom. Ospreay looks strong. Fletcher looks strong.
It's
yeah, I mean,
like it writes itself.
I mean, going off of Dan's point, I would have loved with the amount of history that Ospreay and Fletcher have, I thought that would have been a great first feud for Will Ospreay after this whole Kenny Omega deal. But Andrade, how you know, is one of the top baby faces right now. I like it just because I think him and Ospreay will have a great match, but you know who's going to win. That's like why are we doing that? Then you know who's going to win. How you know. But I think MJF would have been the better option just because of the heat that him and Ospreay have that leads to their great matches. But, I mean, it was nice to see Nick Wayne get a shine. Bag of dicks, and I will say this, much like we said about Maya World earlier with her title reign. His TNT title reign sucked. Let's just put that into the forefront. But also, number two, nice. I'll leave it to you like this. I'm sorry for the feel-good story that Daniel Garcia had. I know he was in a car wreck, and I'm glad that he's still alive with us and he survived. But I'm sorry, the man is a charisma vacuum.
Christian Cage says what?
Thank you.
I got him.
He sucks. When he went from being the Alex Wright of AEW to some little sad goth kid trying to fit in. That's literally what it is.
Wow. I love when Mike brings up the little emo kids because it's like every time he does, it's like the perfect analogy. It fits so well.
It is. He wears the tap out gear. He's like, oh, my buddy over here has got like the friggin' chain shorts over here, and he's got the jam. Yeah, I want to paint my fingernails now too. Wait, I want to go get a piercing.
Like, the tap out shirt.
Yeah. I still wear those, but the problem is it's just like Jesus, man. Like, how bad do you really want to fit in?
Something. Yeah, that's for real. Lord have mercy. That is for real.
I was gonna say Nick Wayne would have been, I think, a good surprise winner. There's with that many people in the match, there's all sorts of shenanigans you can pull to get Nick Wayne to win the match, and then obviously he's going to lose against Ospreay, so you're not going to escape that. But you get this huge build on somebody who's hot. You kind of understand why you gave the match to him. Like I said, he's red hot right now. Putting him in a match with Ospreay would showcase him to a big crowd of people who haven't seen him do his magic. Ospreay is going to draw that magic out of him. I think their styles could work together really well. So I think that would have been a good choice. But the match was good. Of course, it delivered again when you've got this type of caliber of talent in the match. Hard to mess it up.
Or
you bring in Ilya Dragunov.
Oh God.
Think about it. You have Dragunov come in, win. He and Okada, Mr. Ospreay.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
1 hour time limit draw.
Yeah.
People would not be mad at it.
No, not at all.
No, but then it would be similar boat extended just for him to lose in the long run. But then again, being a brand new guy, you can spin it in a bunch of different ways. And I think that's just what it is. We're just going to have to deal with it. I have a funny feeling MJF's going to end up costing him this match, which is just going to lead to continue on with a feud of them, which I think is going to be good enough. It's going to feel a bit wasted. Exactly. It's going to be meh. Exactly. I was expecting this one to be that exact word, meh, and it wasn't. So before I get to praise it, or I wouldn't even say praise it, before I get ridiculed on Max for actually saying I enjoyed a Cage and Cope match, I enjoyed a Cage and Cope match. Cage and Cope versus the Young Bucks. I know I'm fucking flabbergasted too.
You know how much I hate Cope, and
Cope!
I kind of agree with you. It was probably one of my favorite Cope matches since he came to AEW.
I'm so glad that I have, especially you on my side with this one, because of how often you and I literally say the same fucking thing, which is these guys have not adapted nor changed anything about their style in the 20 plus fucking years they've been in the business with all the people they've worked with. You think they'd adapt minutely? Not even minutely. They actually changed for this one. This felt, and I kept saying on Max, I would love to see a PWG style match with the Bucks and Cage and Christian, but it's just not going to happen. I didn't get PWG. I got AEW. I got a different level. We got away from the WWE. Thank fucking God. Was it as fast paced as we know the Bucks to be? Fuck no. Was it as crazy as we know the Bucks to be? No. But these are two dudes that are old as shit. They're fucking grandpas, basically. You know what I mean? Maybe not in literally, but They're damn close. But the reality is they went in there and they hung with these guys. These guys that are always going balls to the wall in every match they have, even the BS Trios matches on Dynamite. So to see them go in there and compete at that level was great. The match itself was fine. Super kicks galore. I can rant and rave about the athleticness and the craziness and the moves, but it's heel Christian that I have to talk about the most, because I think Mike's this is gonna ring his ears a little bit. I remember being pissed off at seeing, and again, I didn't watch TNA, at seeing how popular Captain Charisma was, to see how popular Christian Cage was in TNA, just to see how big of a dick he used to be in TNA, and to see that level of fucking heel. True level of heel, the dickhead that he was when he first started doing the "I banged your mom" joke is back. He puts this fucking socket wrench in his fucking forearm. I love how he distracted Bryce. He has the belt and he's got the fucking loaded up thing, and he's got a what hair, and he fucking obliterates Nick. And then I love how when he hit Matt just died right on the fucking corner.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking selling, dude. That's fucking selling. That's exactly what I'm talking
Young Bucks
about.
selling? No way.
I know, right? What a concept. But massive shout out though to all the fucking cool moves because I know this is going right into the ending. Them hitting the 3D. I never thought I'd ever see Edge and Christian hit a 3D. Yes,
Yeah.
I just called them Edge.
I wasn't a fan of
I know it
callbacks.
was mid. It was fine. I liked it. I thought it was fucking cool.
And the Twist of Fate. Let's give a
Twist
shout
of
out to
Fate,
the Hardys.
Twist of Fate, because none of them are going to do a fucking senton like goddamn Jeff, so don't trip on that one. But it's another. They hit a pop-up spear at one point. They got a 2. That's when the
That
loaded
was
wrench
dope,
happens.
actually.
And then the second pop-up spear, not too bad. I kind of like it. I kind of think that's maybe something they should stick with. And to everyone's surprise, Copeland Cage. I can't help but call him Edge and Christian. Copeland Cage retain the tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying on Max, keeping these belts on them was going to hinder the tag team division, the championships was going to hinder the tag team division, just because what are you really going to do with them now? What are you really? And you want to know what they said? Hold my beer, as fucking Harold's smacking right now. And they said, let's make Christian the biggest dickhead we can make him. And then you're going to say, fuck it. Let's keep the belts on him. Keep the belts on him. Because now that there's such big, and I can't put it in any better words, dickheads, everybody wants another piece. The Bucks are mad. They want their fucking rematch. Then you had the Motor City Machine Guns, who showed up a fucking month ago and went into hiding. Collision. That's just a different word for hiding. And now they're out here making a fucking claim for the belts. FTR's out making a claim for the belts. They're back, placement bananas for it. And then, of course, who better than the new level themselves coming out with the fucking trios belts already in hands? Like, well, fuck it, we'll take the fucking tag belts as well, which just helps me think that finally this tag division is healthy, is one worth actually investing your time and more talent into, because that's been the big thing. I remember when it was AEW was the tag division fucking company. You want good tag team wrestling? Watch AEW. It fell off a fucking brick wall. Somebody's building that wall back up. And unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, but the contractor's name is Christian. And if you don't pay him, he's going to fuck your mom.
So to go into your point, it's so funny because this will tie into everything that we're getting here. Like you mentioned the TNA run, like when he first came into TNA in 2005, that was a big deal because he was one of the first really big ones to come over to TNA. And then the heel turn with him and AJ Styles and Tomko was also very funny, but unentertaining as well. The dude is just one of those guys. And I mean, they are older now. They're in their 50s trying to do what they did in like 2001, which I did enjoy this match, but I have not enjoyed their run in AEW together. Thus far, this is probably, much like Harold said, the best one of the matches that they've had.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
My thing, too, is then you have guys like, and it's cool because we've never seen the new level now against Cope and Christian. We've never seen Cope and Christian against the young, well, we saw the Young Bucks, excuse me. We haven't seen them with the Motor City Machine Guns. There's so many things that they could do. We could get the Bucks against the Guns again, which we haven't seen in 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that we can do. But I think my one gripe was, I mean, you had the Hurt Syndicate on the pre-show with Big Boom AJ. And
Yes.
I'm like, they're in a feud now with Shane Taylor Promotions where Shane Taylor Promotions couldn't pay in full for their service, so they only do like half the match and let the Shane Taylor Promotions do the rest of it. And I'm like, you have Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, who were made to look like a big deal when they came in here. We hurt people.
They were a big deal.
And they're over.
And they're over as hell, but they're over here with the Shane Taylor Promotions. And I'm like, why? You could have them be in the mix with those 5 teams that we saw in that ring. But yeah, and also you get the lick back with Cope and Christian against FTR. So there's so many things that they could do. But as far as them going over, it leads to something more. And that's the story they were telling. Just please don't do like a 5-way ladder match next to try to recreate what we saw back in the early 2000s. But,
Sure they will.
We shall see where we go. But yeah.
As I yell at Daz and beer every fucking week. Thanks for putting that out in the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Harold, what you got?
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it was probably the best Cage and Cope tag match that we've seen. Bucks, came in, did their thing, always looking good. I liked that they adapted a little bit, and in the same way, Edge and Christian adapted a little bit as well to meet the Young Bucks style. I felt it was a good mix of, the Young Bucks spots, some ring psychology, some WWE style pops. Loved the pop-up spear. I thought that was pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was solid. It was a little better than I expected. So that's all I could have asked for. So that's all.
I fucking heard that one. D, what you got?
Take it down.
Of all the possible teams you could have gone with, this is your tag title match. This is what you're giving us.
Yes.
Personally, I would have much rather seen Kofi and Creed debut here. Do it as an open challenge.
Hey.
Yeah, for
I would
sure.
have rather seen this. And I think first match in, they win the tag titles.
I don't see a
You have so many great teams, but you had to get Bucks on the show. You had to get Swerve on the show.
Had to.
Just to me, and sure, we got our nostalgia run. That was great, fun, cool. We got Edge and Christian back together.
Whoop-de-doo.
That was fun. We got the feel good moment. It's time. Find some young new tag team and put them over.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks that Christian's eventually going to turn on Edge. Give us Edge turning.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Give us the Edge that we got. Remember when he first turned heel and won Money in the Bank?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 05.
Classic Edge. Imagine what that version of Edge could do in AEW.
Never liked Edge, so.
It'd be like Swerve, except burning your house down. He's humping your girlfriend.
Right.
Hey, Christian Cage and his dad's, Edge and his wives.
Oh, I like it.
Hey.
Well, actually, fiancés.
Old of you to say.
They weren't married.
Well.
But I don't know. Beth would kind of scare me.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little
bit.
Power's kind of sexy though at the same time. But anyway, let's hop into the next one. I gotta ask before I even introduce this fucking match by itself. Does Darby Allin have like a death wish or something? Like,
yes.
I don't. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Kevin Knight, Darby Allin falls count anywhere for the TNT title. It was Darby surviving a match that he inflicted most of the damage on himself. Let me fucking put that out there before everyone freaks out and says they tried to kill him. No, he tried to kill himself with using the people around him. And then they did like a spot where they tied him up just to beat the shit out of him because for some dumb reason, Darby likes to be tied up. It's a different story. Yeah, I know. Eyes all big for no damn reason. But as there's really not too much in this match other than the obvious, the fucking just brutalization, fighting all over the place. It is falls count anywhere, so they were fighting everywhere, getting pins on the outside. In comes Brian Cage and Jake Doyle to come, uneven the numbers, as they like to say, to give Kevin Knight the upper hand. They're beating the shit out of Darby. Like I said, they ended up tying him up. That's when Stephen Bourdain comes in, and that's Steve's son, by the way, which I swear to God, I cannot unsee it. I know everyone agrees with me, and I really don't think that anyone doesn't. This dude looks like his dad circa 1991. Like,
yeah, I can see it.
You fucking put half the face paint on it. That is Sting in 1991. The same build, the same hair, the same face, the same everything.
Voice.
Everything.
He sounds like his old man.
He does though too. That's another one that's a little trippy to me. He sounds a little too much like the old man. But overall, they're in there kicking ass. He's getting some help. He's getting some work in. But then it becomes this whole thing where just the numbers are too much. Darby Allin's already tied up. They got him in the tree of woe to go to hit the coast to coast, but the lights go out, which means only one guy can show up. And no, it's not the Undertaker. It's Grandpa Sting. And Grandpa Sting comes out to stick and destroy. The place goes fucking bananas. I've never seen a grandpa so goddamn mad, just beelining it to the motherfucker.
He was in hell of a shape, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was swinging that damn thing, killing Doyle, killing Brian Cage, goes into the ring, gets into basically scares Kevin Knight, tosses Darby Allin the belt. Darby Allin goes down on him. He's beating the shit out of Kevin Knight everywhere. Then they get to the stage, and I have no other way of putting this, but Darby Allin channels his inner Shane McMahon, and he climbs the tallest fucking thing he can see.
Yep.
And he goes, "Hey, check it out," and just fucking doesn't blink, doesn't say achoo, nothing, just fucking yeet, as Jimmy would say, or Jay would say, and off he goes. Fucking crashes through the floor, and I love the commentators. They're like, "Oh, you know how sturdy that floor was? We walked that fucking whole stage. Sturdy." I'm like, why does that matter? Like, I get it, bro. It was a sturdy stage. That's a fucking grown man hitting another grown man. Going, yeah, of course it's called fucking, centrifugal force. We all had science class. Come on, we're not that dumb. Maybe a little bit, but still. I did love the moment though, and I'm kind of going backwards, where Sting and Stephen Bourdain climb the ladder, and I'm like, "Get your old ass down!" And I swear to God, I thought he heard me, because down he goes, and I'm like, "Thank God, Sting didn't kill himself." But there was the big awesome splash for Stephen. Good for him. They're going to they've put Kevin Knight on a fucking stretcher. They've put him on a stretcher. They're wheeling him out, and Darby's like, "Fucking move! You fucking move!" And he's just yelling at these fucking people. We're trying to help this poor bastard, by the way. And they're like, I swear to God, somebody tells him, "Don't hit him in the chest, or don't hit him over here." So he lands on his leg. Fucking whatever, gets the pin. He's your new TNT champion. I want to say he's the 3-time champ now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
actually
3.
4.
Is it? Oh shit, he might be 4.
I'm almost certain it's 3.
Oh,
Might be right.
might be right. But regardless, it was a Darby Allin falls count anywhere match. I know that I kind of hate that already has its own stereotype, but it does.
It really does.
But it does.
He's gonna have his hands duct taped at some point, or handcuffed.
Yep.
He's
Or in
gonna
a body
dive
bag.
off of something super high. Yeah, or in a body bag. It's funny that you mentioned Shane McMahon, because when I was watching this match right before it started, I'm looking at the Wembley stage as they're playing the intro videos, and I'm like, Darby's gonna dive off of one of these pieces. Like, there's too many things he can climb up for him to just ignore it, because he's gonna do it. So I said that, and then I said, because Darby's got this death wish where he wants to beat out whatever Shane McMahon did.
Yeah.
Then the match started, and he does the Shane McMahon bit. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's why I keep thinking it's fucking hilarious. Why are you competing with Shane McMahon of all people?
Yeah.
But hey,
what I did find interesting too is, as far as Kevin Knight goes, if you notice, he kind of took a real back seat in this match.
he did.
he didn't really do much, and I want to say this is probably his weakest AEW match, despite the fact that
100%.
the match in general was entertaining and not a bad match. Him personally, I think it was probably his worst AEW match.
Yeah, because there was more. There was more focus on Brian Cage and fucking and Jake
Doyle,
something than there was anyone else.
whatever,
I want to call Jake something. But it's like that was like, why aren't you in the okay? But
Yeah.
it just, again, with all the chaos that is a Darby Allin match, I think it was a little easy to get, out of context.
Right.
To me, it's, to take a page out of Harold's book, it's like a great meal, Knight versus Darby alone, even without a stipulation, great match.
Mm-hmm.
You add in the Falls Count Anywhere, okay, even better. Don't add in anything more. Just leave it. They did. But then you start adding in, you start adding in your outside interference, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. It's okay. But you didn't need to do it.
No. Yes.
And it's. I don't like it when WWE does it. This didn't need it. Match would have been fine on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't wrong. It was just was a little too much.
I think to go on to Dan's point, first of all, Stephen Borden made sense just because Darby Allin, Sting and their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked how they're putting that together. Darby Allin going through the floor, it's very reminiscent of Shane McMahon and Kane from Unforgiven 03,
yep.
or Steve Blackman with the friggin' falling off the friggin' set from SummerSlam. Yeah. It's one of those things for me too. You knew what you were going to get with this.
As long as one of them doesn't bring out the car battery.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah. With the testicles. Yeah. It's one of those things for me too, man, where I'm just like, Kevin Knight and all them have been beating that ass. And I'm like, Darby's got to win this. And he did. Right person went over. It was fun for what it was. We knew what we were going to get. All I could say is Darby Allin is a crazy motherfucker, living it up, not giving a fuck, living life in the fast lane, to quote Limp Bizkit. So that's the way that I view it.
What I would love to see, bring back the weekly TBS, not TBS, I'm sorry, the TNT Open Challenge.
Yeah.
I like that.
Give me Sammy versus Darby again.
Hey,
I like that.
Those are guys that cannot have a bad match with each other.
No.
It would get Sammy back on TV. Like with Britt Baker, maybe this is his, last hurrah. Do kind of like what NXT does. Hey, we know you're leaving. Fuck it. We'll get one last run out of you.
Fuck it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty good. I think it'd be a good move. All right, let's try to finish. Go ahead. No, all right, okay. Let's try to finish these last two as quickly as we can. You guys already know how I fucking feel about the ending of this one, but let's get into it anyway. Willow Nightingale, Mercedes Moné, AEW Women's title match. The boys are dancing. One guy's mad. These fucking heroes is out there jamming. Thekla had a good old time hanging out in the crowd with her shades on inside because she wears her sunglasses at night, or even though it was in the middle of the day. But
sunglasses at night, Moses Marquez. I see you.
It's all good, bud. It's all good in the hood. This match, and I love that the little builds that they had. You know what I mean? It was like Mercedes talked about how she was, she built Willow and this and that, and she got relevant off of her name. And the other one was just about how Willow writes her own story, which I kind of liked a lot. But this one, unfortunately, she couldn't write her own story. She got a lot more offense in than I thought she would, Mercedes, that is. But it got bloody. It got bloody fast. Because when she was bleeding bad. It looked like she broke her nose. And it was just pouring buckets. It was everywhere she goes, she was pouring buckets. Moneymaker getting hit. There was like 2 or 3 of Moneymakers got hit. Willow Nightingale is just, I want to say she used the belt at one point. No, it was to use the Dr. Bomb. That's right. His Dr. Bomb got Aubrey was out of the way. I forgot what took out Aubrey. I wasn't paying attention for that moment.
Corner bump.
Yeah.
So because of that, Aubrey's out. They're counting to a fucking bazillion, a million, quadrillion, whatever the fuck. There's another avalanche, Dr. Bomb, Moné counters into a super Hurricane Rana. And it just turns into exactly what you were afraid of. The Mercedes Moné comeback was full-blown official. She ends up getting the statement maker, and she's holding it. And I still don't know who tapped or who passed out or who did what, because none of those things happened. None of those things happened, and it makes me fucking mad, because at least Nigel tapped. Okay, Nigel fucking tapped, because my argument was simply, if they're going to say she tapped because she was dragging her hand real close to the fucking rope, then Nigel is the fucking Continental Champion, because John did the same fucking thing. The same fucking thing. So what is it, dude? She wasn't out. There wasn't a tap. Either we're going to fucking run this motherfucker back.
Yeah, it's possible.
Or somebody fucked up. And I think it's, I think possible. I think you're right. I think both are possible. I think both are very fucking possible. Now that I say all this shit out.
I think both are true.
Both are probably fucking true. You know, it's
possible.
I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get it. So if we're gonna fucking extend this again for no other reason other than the fact of really don't have anything for Mercedes, because let's be honest, you don't. Outside of Thekla, you don't. You have nothing. You're gonna feed her fucking Britt Baker. You're gonna feed Britt Baker to Mercedes Moné. You'd be stupid to do that. Persephone, stupid to do that. You have nothing with her. This is exactly why Daz Beer, every single one of these guys in here, Rob at home, anyone else fucking listening, would have said, give the belt to anybody else except Mercedes fucking Moné. Because when you do that, you fucking put blinders on everybody. And every match you give to her, it's Super Cena all over again. And we are already so uninterested, we don't give a fuck who her first opponent is, unless they decide to run it back with Willow.
This would have been the perfect spot to bring out Davina Rose.
Who?
Had she signed with AEW, would have been perfect.
What about Kyrie? Is Kyrie a free agent?
Well, Kyrie, I think, is going to go there, and I think that's going to be the feud, is her and Mercedes. Because if you remember when her New Japan debuted, she attacked Kyrie, and then they could do role reversal. Kyrie attacks Mercedes.
Right. I think realistically, I think we all know where Davina Rose is gonna be signing.
Yeah, they keep mentioning her on TV, so I'm thinking she resigned back with the WWE.
But think about it. Think
hey, good job.
Imagine Mercedes winning, middle of the ring. She comes out not from the back. Have her come out through the crowd.
Hey.
Just have a stare down. And that's it.
It's one of those things too, unless you Ruby Soho, they're saying she's clear, unless you bring back Ruby Soho versus Mercedes, but that also doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Okay.
Not this year.
No, not this year. It doesn't make any sense. If Toni Storm comes back, Toni Storm is beating her. That would be sweet. But I'm at a point right now, and mind you, congrats to both ladies on one has a broken nose and the other one had a broken wrist, and they went out there and put on a banger. We're in the Mercedes vortex of the fact that, all right, we're tired of seeing her around as the champion. We didn't like it the first time around because they didn't really have much for her. Like you mentioned, Thekla, but we're in the point of like, okay, we're going to run it back like we did the first time. When she beat Willow in her first match to win the TBS championship, you flipped it and reversed it. Yes.
How did we get here?
Okay, hold on.
We got to do this right.
So Mercedes Moné debuted and she defeated Willow Nightingale for the TBS championship all the way back in 2024. And then what we saw right after that was the fact that, hey, she had this long-ass title reign, and then she lost the title, and then she left, and now she's back with the Owen Hart championship. And then she went against Willow Nightingale here in Wembley, and then she beat Mercedes. Mercedes beat her like she did in her first match for the TBS championship. And now it's the women's championship. Now she's won all the titles. And that's how we got here. Woo.
Woo.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. But no, it's as the boys in fucking Max are gonna tell me, well, you saw it coming.
Yeah,
well, you saw it coming. But as I love to see this, as I love to say this with the kids that I coach, just because I seen it coming didn't mean somebody couldn't prevent the fucking thing.
But
Okay?
we all wanted to be positively optimistic, and that was all on us.
Hey, you know what, Mo, don't take what they say too seriously. They eat beans on toast.
Hey,
Hey,
you know what? It does fucking Jamie Hayter a load of good. So you can keep on with them beans and toast, boy. I tell you.
But
you,
they
Totally.
act
there's
like that's
a lot of
good. They act like that's good food. No.
No.
no,
All right.
not at all.
We go from good food to I this has to be one of the best main events I've ever seen. As much as I've seen Kenny Omega have pure wrestling classics, this was a little bit of a different one, but nevertheless this was still undoubtedly a classic. Mike ran away for a second, but that's okay. He'll be back in a minute. Let's keep it going. Or I should say, finish it, I should say. So Kenny Omega versus the hometown Will Ospreay for the biggest title in the world, as they love to say, AEW World Championship. The intro for Will Ospreay is his mom talking about how when you told me when you were 16 you wanted to be a pro wrestler, I told you you'd make no money. All going to the soundtrack of Teenage Wasteland. You see him wrestle in all the companies that he's wrestled in over the years, even the ones you recognize and don't recognize. Then you see him walk through the backstage crowd. You're seeing him get fucking talked to and given the old nod by everyone, including fucking Swerve Strickland, Ricochet, Kyle Fletcher, the whole shabiggity bang. And then he goes out, and I want to say he had the with the United Kingdom with him. It was Common Newman. Was it Francisco Akira? That's how you say it. And Aaron Herrera. He came out with those, and then I had already mentioned it. Go ahead.
You mentioned Kyle Fletcher. We also had Mark Davis.
That's right. Mike Davis was back there as well. He was giving the nod. All this, and then it finishes. Thank you for making me bring that back up. Mike's back, and then it finishes with him walking into the arms of his new bride, which is, I'm like, that right there was a good little whatever. Then Moxley's holding the UK flag for him, and I'm like, fucking asshole. I'm not supposed to like you, but all right, why not? Fucking, it is what it is. Was Harold? Maybe you know this. Was that fucking was it Michael Oku?
Michael Oku.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure was.
I was like, that was him. I swear. I was like, I haven't seen that guy in fucking forever. I don't even know.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. was back there as well. Yeah, can't forget Zack Sabre Jr.
You know, I'll say it's a really is a shame they don't have a working relationship with WWE, because it would have been cool to see Gunther there.
Yeah. Or William Regal. Especially William Regal, now that I think about it. That would have been great. But for, like I said, for Kenny, we go from, rather than the build of the kid that really wanted to do this, to the man that dominates. And that's all this was. Again, he was the almighty. He was almighty, the hero from My Hero Academia, had the whole voiceover thing, had the whole intro like it. People thought he was coming out to the fucking theme song of the goddamn show, for fuck's sake, till they actually hit his actual music, and he came out. And then we saw, and I don't know any other way to put it, because to me, this is what it was. We saw the cleaner. This was the cleaner versus Will Ospreay. This was a guy, but what I mean by cleaner, I mean early New Japan when he was a junior, where he's a dick and he's overly methodical and he's this fucking just evil asshole. It's about to turn on AJ Styles and all that shit. That's the Kenny Omega I'm talking about. That's the cleaner I'm referring to. Not the one that dominated when Okada was around, but the one that was the dickhead to get over to then get to that place. He was beating the crap out of Will every chance he could get, hitting him with whatever, steel pads, the fucking monitor, fucking hit everything that they fucking could. But then it got back and forth. The cheeky Nando in the corner, Will Ospreay making his comebacks. I don't know how Will Ospreay started bleeding, but he was bleeding absolute fucking buckets. His fucking head was covered in red, as they love to say. And it was just ridiculous.
Table spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they're at the table spot. Then we get into the match, and I want to say it was like either a hidden blade or like a back kick or something. But it cuts the absolute shit out of Kenny's eye, and he's whole fucking, I want to say right eye is just covered in blood, and these guys are still just going to fucking war like it's nothing. And Will's on the fucking outside, and you've got everyone cheering him on. Get back up. Get back up. Nigel's fucking there like this with his goddamn leg and the thing like, come on, Will,
in the
get
wheelchair.
up. You know what I mean? Like, you got so behind the kid. Everyone got so behind the kid. And here he comes trying to make a comeback. He's fucking reversing out of one-winged angels. He's hitting the fucking Styles Clash. That's not working. Cutter not working. The people are fucking cheering. 2 V-triggers, a Poison Rana. Ospreay's kicking out. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And then Ospreay hits a one-winged angel. Holy shit. Kenny kicks out at 1. Tells you to go fuck yourself. Hits a fucking Tiger Driver. Another big deal there. Fucking shakes that one off too. Hits the Stormbreaker and Kenny kicks out at 1. And you're like, what do you got to do? Like, who's got a gun? I know there's no fucking guns allowed in the UK. Who's got a gun? I got to kill Kenny Omega to keep him down. That's kind of what it started to feel like. And about that time, I was like, just keep it. Just keep it on Kenny. Like, he's obviously at that fucking level again. So just fucking keep it on it. But that's also the perfect time in which to take somebody down. And it worked out beautifully because Ospreay lowers the shoulder pad, hits a fucking kill switch, hits the hidden blade, picks up the 1, 2, 3. Wembley goes absolutely nuts, popping like there's nobody. Again, they're still partying in the pubs. They're still partying in the pubs out here. All right, this thing was that big, and it ended hours ago. This was absolutely, positively top 3, if not the best match AEW's had, period. I cannot mark any other ones close enough. Kenny and Okada was super good. I feel this was better. This just had that extra level of something else. And maybe it was just it being in Wembley. Because I remember when it was Kenny and Okada in Texas, and Texas liked it, but Texas, baby, they ain't Wembley.
I think it's also because you have the hometown boy. You have his family and friends there. Kenny Omega and him have had such great chemistry every time that they wrestle. It's a well-known feud, and he made it personal talking about his boy having a new hero, and then he mentioned his mom. So you needed to have that heightened intensity, and they're just kicking at a move. So what's it going to take for him to get down? And then, boom, he just hits the hidden blade, and it's over. One of those things, too, is this man has been with AEW for 3 years. He's been the golden boy. He's been one of the top baby faces, and to have that moment in his home country really sealed it, the icing on the cake, if you will, the cherry on top, and that's what gave us the passing of the torch. It gave us Will Ospreay's run finally as AEW World Champion after coming up short for many a times, and then boom, he has his moment. So it was definitely a feel-good win, and it definitely heightened of what looks to be the final chapter for Omega and Ospreay.
Yep, I love that.
I will say something that Tony Khan does very well is recognizing when someone is hot and when it's the time to pull the trigger. No pun intended. And this is something that, for as long as I can remember, WWE has always struggled with. LA Knight is a prime example. You know, dude was hot a couple years back. Would have been the perfect time to put the title on him. Jacob Fatu a couple months ago. Over like Rover, it was time. This situation, I think it would have done a lot of damage to Will had Kenny won.
Yeah.
The right person won at the right time. It was perfect. And kudos to Tony, you know, and everyone involved. Honestly, it was a great show.
Yeah, 1,000% on that one.
Yeah.
I know what you got.
And it ended at a decent time.
Hey,
Yep.
We thank you for that, Tony.
Had a good run time. I want to say the main event started 3 hours and 40 minutes into the show, somewhere around there. So even if the main event, say, was to go an hour, that's 4 hours and 40 minutes. The last 2 pay-per-views, I think, were 4 hours and 55 minutes.
Yeah, they were almost 5.
Yeah, so not only did it start earlier because it started at an earlier time, but they actually wrapped things up a little neater, a little cleaner. Speaking of cleaner, Kenny Omega looking fantastic in this match. I think, got to be the best match he's had since he's come back
Yes.
from the diverticulitis situation. Definitely looked like Kenny of old. Oftentimes now when I watch Kenny, I kind of almost cringe a little bit because I'm always like, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
You're always
This
watching
match,
out for him.
It wasn't like that in this match. I just felt like he looked so good. I wasn't having that same concern. Obviously they both delivered. I was a little nervous with Ospreay's gash to the back of the head after that table spot because I was like, oh man, maybe he's concussed or something, but he was fine. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. But yeah, great match. Of course, these guys delivered just like we expected. This is one of those rare occasions where it was not only predictable, but like they kind of almost overproduced, like the beginning of the match.
I like
almost, but you were like, this is adequate. This is the time to do that type of thing. This is the match to overproduce. So it was definitely acceptable. So I loved it, of course.
Mike.
Dude, like I mentioned, man, it was one of those things where great show. I really was entertained by everything on there. A great night of action. When you're going to do a pay-per-view in the UK, especially Wembley Stadium, you're going to have an amped crowd. It's the UK. You know what you're getting. And this main event pretty much gave us everything of years upon years upon years with Ospreay and Omega finally getting the recognition of beating Kenny and winning the championship. Who better for Ospreay? I thought from start to finish, this show definitely gave us the surprises of the new level as they are now. The return of Britt Baker, Mercedes. You could say what you will, but we kind of saw it coming. But everything had a nice little decent story. They amplified more with the tag division, so you're getting a little of everything, and you want that accoutrement.
Accoutrement. I like it. That buffet. You want all of the flavors and then some, baby. You want all of them. And I cannot agree anymore with Mike because again, this show I thought was awesome. I can nitpick whatever you want. You can nitpick your little here, your little there. But at the end of it, I undoubtedly was beyond entertained. Yes, the Wembley crowd makes it a big difference. I have said on numerous different platforms, the overseas and I guess northern America, if you will, crowds are always going to supersede not just San Diego, but all of the United States because there's just something different. Maybe it's because they don't get it as often. Maybe they're just that much lively of crowd. Whatever it may be, being in a different area than the United States is massive. And Wembley absolutely killed it. Sold under 45,000 tickets for that one, though. I'll tell you that. So it's the lowest show that they've had so far. We know the first one was 80,000+. The next one is, I believe, 56+. And this one is about 45,000. So as much as it went down, I don't hear a damn person saying SummerSlam was better. So I'll take this one as a W. But with all that, we've got a good little bit, hour and a half plus for y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for kicking it with us on our first little live. Big old shout out to Mike for hooking it up like that. I'm sure with all the pay-per-views coming, we might be back with some more. So before we get on out of here, let's figure out what the boys are doing. And again, because he hooked us all up, he set this whole thing up for us, and we appreciate him for it. Let's find out what Mike's got going on. And I promise you, it's a whole lot.
I will say this first and foremost. I'd like to add on really quickly to what I mentioned earlier about Bag of Dicks and him trying to be that kid who was the sad emo kid trying to fit in and wearing the tap out t-shirt. Watching Daniel Garcia, especially how he acts and his style and aesthetic, Daniel Garcia is the poster child for Echo Unlimited. You're welcome. So with that being said, so you want to check out yours truly, it's this fine channel here. It's S&M Network shows. We got more of the Steve and Mike show coming. You can check out all 6 seasons of Uncaged with myself and this man, Daniel Crimmins, over here. You can check out Daniel Crimmins, Paul, and I on the RWT podcast. We also went live this week, as did Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling with myself, Rob and Nikla, as well as myself and Roy Costin for the Takedown podcast here on the channel. You also get On the Mic with Mike. You get the LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast and so much more. And the LFC Network is now on Roku. So if you got yourself a Roku, go to LFC Network. You can see your boy and so many great events produced by the Lingerie Fighting Championships. And as this show is also on Twitter, at SM Show 1, MCL92. If you're on the Instagram front, MLarkin, Larkin_92, SteveandMikeShow.com, LFCfights.com. There's a whole lot of, and all of our descriptions will be to our links below this fine program.
Wow. Look at all that. I told y'all he was a busy man. I told y'all he was a busy man. Speaking of one of the busy men that he likes to work with, he's above me in this one. DC, what you got coming down the pipeline? I know the pundits got new music. We got new logos. We got new this. We got new that. Shout out to Kyle, by the way. Cool Kyle. Not so cool Kyle. Remember, he was a technical director at one point. I don't know what the hell happened to that guy.
Yeah.
Mini donuts happened.
The mini donuts.
Mini donuts.
The mini donuts get you.
Hey, you know that? I can't say I blame him.
No, sir.
The pundit is now the pundits.
Oh,
It is now a 2-man gig with Paul Morales and myself.
love it.
The first episode should be coming out tomorrow. Uncut, uncensored, and
Damn, uncircumcised.
Hello.
Ah,
no, that's episode
hello.
2. That's
That's
episode
episode
Hello.
2. We're jumping the gun, fam. Jumping the
Hello.
two. There was a little spoiler, by the way.
gun. Little.
Check it out.
I love it. Yeah, check out what DC's got. Check out what Mike's got. Harold, I know the hiatus was a long one. I don't know if it's continued. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. With the way this SoCal heat has absolutely just been disgusting, my guy. So, what do we got coming up? Is there anything coming up? If not, give us a shout out of an episode we have to go check out.
Tell you what, this is an opportunity to drop that the TSK will be returning for a special Halloween Horror Nights episode. Universal Halloween Horror Nights is coming back this year. And one of the things that I am extremely excited for is they are going to pay homage to The Simpsons and the Treehouse of Horror series.
Let's go.
So they're going to have treats and themed foods, and I just can't wait to try that. That's something that I popped for. As soon as they said they were going to announce that, I was like, we're going. TSK is coming back. The Too Sweet Kliq adventures. If you're into food, eating, I know you like to eat, you big backs out there. If you like Los Angeles, filming locations, movies, all the local events going on in the area, check out Too Sweet Kliq Adventures on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, your friendly neighborhood TSK. We're here for you. Too sweet.
Too sweet and big dog. And that's the craziest part about this. Every single one of these guys has something different of their own to offer. We know Mike has got it covered on every aspect, from women's mixed martial arts to pro wrestling to even some fun hockey talk or just buddy talk with him and the I'm not gonna call him the other name, but let's just call him S-Man. And then we got to it. DC's got his own thing. If he's not working with Mike, he's working with Paul. You got to check out Paul Morales. Is another cool one of our characters. And of course, Big Harold. These are episodes you should check out. The Too Sweet Kliq Adventures. If you are traveling to California at all, you get bored, you want to know where to eat, you're in LA, I promise you, he's gonna steer you the right way. And if you want to make a trip a little bit lower down, a little closer to the border, he came out to San Diego and hit y'all with an episode of that too. So check out what Harold's got going on. Check out what all these guys got going on. Check out what Rob's got going on, even though he ain't here either. And I promise you, he's Big Mike's going to throw some links down there for him as well. But for me, you guys can catch me every time the TSK gets together, because we do it so rarely. We have to make it as special as we can. So we try to do that every time that we do. But you can catch me each and every Thursday on the YouTube, youtube.com/Max Wrestling, where I hang out with the man they call Daz the Captain, as we say, and my man John Beer, who may not like me right now for lack of better reasons. I kind of stole his knowledge championship with the last minute shot goal. I just took a shot in the dark, fam. Just took a shot in the dark. And sometimes those shots, they land in the back of the net. They get you 3 points. You move on to the next week. It's a beautiful thing. Also, speaking of kicking the ball and hitting 3 points, go check out the Max Football Podcast. Man, we getting crazy out here talking MLS, talking the European game. Your boys getting all over the place at Snapdragon each and every week, following this team as best as we can. And again, for a guy who's got to get up at 4 a.m. to watch a team in England, I'm going to rant about them too. So make sure you're following everyone here. Make sure you're following the TSK, following Mike, following DC, everyone in between. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Thank you for enjoying us with the first live. I can't wait to be back, but we'll catch y'all on the next one. Too sweet, y'all, and have a good old night.
Woo!
The crowds are loud from the West Coast vibe, but true can't even thrive on this wild vibe. On this wild vibe. TSK on the mic for that best in pride vibe. In the spotlight shining bright, watch us steal the show. Let that make rest to make. This is our moment. We gon'